It is Tuesday, April 29th, and it is time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3. And as always, a lot to talk about in the world of professional wrestling and other things going on. I know this is a different conversation for a different day, but this is how we're going to start it, SP3, because this is what I watched last night. This is what I watched this morning. We got the old Joe Goldberg back. Kate needed the old Joe Goldberg, and he was back to start the final season of You. I'm through the first 6 episodes. Where are you at?
We right on cue. Me too. Me too. Surprise! Yeah, we due to my my daughter's ridiculous sleeping pattern. Like my son will go to sleep like 8-9 o'clock out here on the dot. When my daughter stays up, sometimes she'll go to sleep at like 9:30. Sometimes she'll be up until midnight. So we've only got through the first 6 episodes, but I much prefer this season over season 4. I think that it's at this point, even with 4 episodes left, season 4 is the worst season of You for me personally. I was like, I like season 5 significantly better than, especially because of how we came out with the batch episodes. I think that they made it, and plus the Paris scenery wasn't that cool and stuff. Being back in New York just has a different vibe to it. So yeah, I've been really liking season 5 so far.
The funniest moment of this season was episode 2 and the tense dinner scene. And the kid comes in and throws the knife.
Like, don't talk about my mom and dad like that. I was like, go ahead, Henry Goldberg, gonna be just like his dad.
I was cackling when that happened. That was hilarious to me. This season has been absurd, as every season of You is. Very absurd, and the different stories that they are weaving throughout. So we won't spoil anything, even though I just spoiled one moment for everyone. I won't spoil anything for everybody until we actually watch the entire season, and I'm sure we'll do a big review with our pal Share Delaware. But yeah, this has been a very absurd season. This is what I did last night. I started watching the hockey game. The hockey game didn't go so well. I said, I'm not putting myself through this misery. So I just watched a couple episodes of You instead. And I stayed up too late watching that instead of watching hockey. So that's how I spent my night with everything. Anyway, wrestling, I guess. Guys, if you're here, leave a thumbs up on the video. That helps us out. Let's see if there's the subliminal thumbs up with everything. I don't know. Maybe the fireworks just won't work. The fireworks are tired. We're all tired. Leave a thumbs up on the video. That helps us out. Leave a super chat. Get your question, comment, statement read on the air. Subscribe to the channel. Tap the bell for notifications. All of that fun stuff. You know, it all helps us out. It all works around here. Oh, Andrew Zarian will not be doing Beyond the Bell anymore. So if you're looking for that show at 10:30, you will be disappointed because Andrew Zarian is not there. Maybe Joel will show up here because he's going to show up on that show. He only works one show a week. He's doing that. He's doing Beyond the Bell more. He's doing In the Weeds at this point.
I love that. He's been showing up over there, competing against us. How does that work? This guy who does it. Okay, you guys asked for it. Another Joel rant. So we pull back the curtain a little bit where, Joel, if he's not on the show, he's still doing the thumbnail, and he asks us, guys, hey, what should be the thumbnail for tonight's show? Tomorrow's show. So we get Jeremy who, like he just admitted, is not fully watching Monday Night Raw. He's watching hockey, then going from that to You. He's sparingly keeping track of
here. I'll peel back even further. Joel messages this at let's see what time this was. Okay. Of course, the Twitter is stupid to where it's gonna make me like have to go around 5 different things. Joel messages this at 10:02. All right, 10:02. He says, "What's the thumbnail?" This hockey game started at about 9:55, and Dallas scored 9 seconds into the game. I was at my most angry at about 10:02 watching this game. And Joel trying to message about this thumbnail, I had no time for it. None. And then he just I was like, I don't care. Let me hate watch hockey right now. This is what I was like, I don't care. Whatever. So continue.
So yeah, so Jeremy, he answers back like 15 minutes later. He's like, women's stuff has been the most interesting. So Joel says, so Becky, Lyra. And Jeremy says, yeah. 1 minute after. So I know he didn't even start putting together the thumbnail yet. 1 minute after Jeremy said, yeah, I comment, I think the Seth and Sami stuff is the main talking point and the best stuff from the show. And Jeremy confirms my suspicion, because I figured when he said the woman stuff has been the most interesting, and I knew that the Avs was playing yesterday. I was like, I don't know if Jeremy's really watching this show, or right now he's not watching the show at least.
I wanted Joel. I wanted Joel to
you said
shut
I'm
up.
fine either way.
I wanted Joel to shut up. That's all I cared about.
He says I'm fine either way. I'm stressing over hockey. So that should be confirmation to Joel that, hey, one of y'all are watching this show. So one of y'all is paying attention to this show and should go with the person who explained why I was asking for this to be the thumbnail instead of something that I told him, and even told him this morning. I was like, we're probably going to talk about this for less than 5 minutes. It was not that interesting. Becky Lynch explains that she is the attacker behind Bayley. She cuts a very good heel promo that the fans don't really react to because they didn't take us on a journey. And then Lyra comes out and she tries to get over, but she can't get really over, even though she showed more fire than usual. That's the synopsis of that whole segment. Even though the whole show was about Seth and Sami, he refused to listen to me. This guy, Joel Pearl, great podcaster, not a good listener. I don't know what's going on, or not a good reader. I don't know what's going on. I love him to pieces. He's my favorite Canadian Jew, but God damn it, he doesn't listen to me when I'm trying to make a good point. Rant over.
This goes for anybody, not just Joel. Don't bother me when my teams are playing. Everyone knows this, right? You know this.
No.
Everyone knows this. Just don't bother me. I'm not gonna give you a good answer. You can't expect me to give you a good answer. You can't expect me to be in my right mind on this. Think for 2 seconds, check the score, and if the score isn't good, then just don't bother me. If the score is fine, maybe you have a little bit of hope of getting a decent answer out of me, but you're still just better off not bothering me. This is how I know my lovely wife has messaged you of like, you can't do this to Jeremy during the playoff. You just can't. You can't do it to him. So I watched the game.
I felt like we were comforting each other because I just have to deal with you on this show. She has to deal with you more often. So it was kind of comforting of a friend talking to the missus and being like, he's gonna be all right. We just need him to get the habit. And now I'm rooting more for his basketball team than my basketball team. And that's the last I talk about basketball on this show.
Well, we got a super chat, so you're gonna have to potentially address basketball. Man. Sorry.
I put out a tweet. I made it clear. I am not talking about basketball for the next week.
Very fair. Very fair. I'm not gonna force it to you. You don't have to respond to the super chat. I will not blame you one bit if you don't. So I watch these games typically in the office. And I got a monitor here that no one can actually see. And that's like where I have the game on. And then wrestling's on the TV over here and everything. So like this is how I typically watch the games. As I said, Dallas scored 9 seconds of the game last night. I was already in a bad mood. And then they scored some fluky goal at the end of the period. I was just like angry. And like the 2 games I've watched in the office, we've won. And the 2 games I ended up watching in the living room went to overtime and we lost. So I was like, I'm going to watch the games in the office for like the good vibes and everything. But then we're down 2-0 and it goes to intermission. And I tell my lovely wife, I was like, I'm going to go watch the game in the living room. And she's like, are you sure? Like, here's where the vibes have been good. I was like, yeah, like I can feel myself getting angry. It's like I got to remove myself from the situation. I got to be alone in this situation. Like I like watching the games in here. If we're winning, the vibes are good and everything. But I also know myself, and like if I watch those games in here, it doesn't matter, right? Where I watch the games does not change the outcome of the games. I'm not dumb and think I'm not that superstitious. I'm a little stitious. I'm not that superstitious to where I think that where I watch the games actually influences what happens on the games. But I know if like we'd lost those overtime games and I watched them in here, I would have just been angry. And I would have been like, I have to watch these games alone because I'm a detriment to myself and everyone around me if we're not playing well and I'm watching these games. So Joel trying to message me about this fucking thumbnail just annoyed me even more last night. That's what I'm getting at, everybody.
Love that. Love that story.
Just don't bother me. Just don't. That's all I'm asking. If my teams are playing, don't bother me. That's why I'm not joking when I put out the schedule and I was like, dear wife, kids, family, friends, coworkers, literally anybody, here's the schedule. Do not bother me on these days during this time because I'm going to be stressed all day. And do not bother me the day after because I'm going to be stressed the day after as well, as evidence from right here. Just annoyed. Annoyed at Joel. Annoyed at dumb hockey. Annoyed at dumb sports. It's all stupid, SP3. It's all stupid.
I support this answer. I support this so much.
At least the Thunder won't annoy me until Sunday. That's annoying me too, honestly. A week off between games? The fuck is this scheduling? A week off. We just had a week off because the play-in. And now it's another week off.
I thought you had a week off because you were playing the Grizzlies.
Well, 2 of those games were close. I mean, it would have been 2-2 if, Ja was healthy. So, he had us figured out. That's for sure. A week off between games? Apologize, finisher. I'm being you're in timeout there. Timeout.
Oh, man.
A week off between games. It was baffling to me. Like the schedulings. Like the Thunder closed out the Grizzlies on Saturday afternoon. Before the Warriors and Rockets even had game 3. The series was over. Before Warriors and Rockets had game 3, the series was over. They'd advanced. The Cavs closed out the Heat last night. 2 days after the Thunder closed out the Grizzlies.
That was almost as bad as that first game against the Grizzlies, that beating that the Cavs put on the Heat.
We advanced 2 days before the second team advanced, which was also a sweep, mind you. It's not like that series went 5 or 6. That was also a sweep. We still advanced 2 days before that. The scheduling was so baffling. I hope I didn't ban Apologize Finisher for like life. It says the user was banned and their comments were removed. I just tried to put him in a timeout. I don't actually want to.
Yeah, did you actually ban him instead of putting him on time? Did you get that upset that you just did it?
I misclicked. Now I gotta like go into the YouTube and see if I can like. I don't know how to do all this. Shit.
Crap. Power Driver Finish is a real one too.
My bad, Power Driver Finisher. I do like you. I was just trying to put you in a timeout. I wasn't trying to ban you.
Jay Chris with the best comment I've seen so far, saying Thunder work on Joel's schedule. Oh man, that's no, not Power Driver yet.
How do I look at the band list? I don't like do any of this stuff.
I don't know. I've never banned anybody and wanted to put them off of being banned.
I figured it's in like community. but
If
I don't really.
if we're not able to figure out while we're on here live, I'm sure you will figure it out. But I'll let Power Driver knows that this was an accident.
I don't know if
When
I
he's
will figure it out. I'm
if he
stupid.
if he shows up in the live chat for True Hill Heat, I'll let him know that was an accident and we are working towards getting it solved.
Hold on. I gotta like Google how to unban people on YouTube.
The Google gonna be like, why would you do that?
Yeah. See, it says it's in community, but then I go to community and it's just like comments and mentions. I don't care about comments and mentions.
Bargav says, go to the 3 dots in the YouTube chat, click on participant list, and you can see Power Driver Finisher there. You can click and unblock, I think.
Wait, hold on.
So you might have to open up YouTube chat if you're logged into the Fightful Overbook there.
Okay, I'm logged into the account. The YouTube chat, like I got to click on the video and then.
Yeah, you got to click on the video and go to the chat.
Oh, I don't care. Okay, all right. Oh, participants. Okay. It says he's there. It says he's there.
Maybe you have to click the 3 dots next to his name.
No, there are no 3 dots next to his name.
Uh-oh. We got the anonymous in the weeds general manager saying Jeremy's got the red anger mist.
My bad, Power Driver Finisher. I hope you're still here. I get what's the ban? Like, what's the timeout? It's like
timeout is usually like 5
10
minutes.
10 minutes.
No, it's like 5 minutes, and they usually just come back.
All right. Oh, well, man. I guess we'll see. If he returns or not. Hold on. All right. I don't want to like try this out on anybody. So it says So like I do this through the StreamYard, and it says Power Driver Finisher was banned and their comments were removed. But I'm pretty sure I clicked put user in timeout. Should I like try to just put somebody else in timeout and see what the message is? Does anybody want to volunteer as tribute to be put in timeout?
The ITW general manager has reached out to Joel, and he said he will fix it. So
Joel's the reason we're in this predicament in the first place.
I also agree with that. It's all Joel's fault. This is not Jeremy's fault. This is all Joel's fault. I agree. I freaking agree. This dude does not listen to me. If he listened to me and didn't bother Jeremy, we wouldn't be in this situation right now.
All right, Louis has volunteered as tribute, so I'm gonna click on Louis's name and I'm gonna click put user in timeout. Oh, it does say Louis was banned and their comments were removed.
Okay. Oh, he's back. He's back.
Oh, there. Sorry, Louis. I did it right when Power Driver Finisher returned to. Louis sacrificed himself to the gorilla for no reason. He wasn't even supposed to be one of the 100. He's just like, fuck it. We need 101.
This is the funniest start to the show we've ever had. Power Driver Finisher said, I had to create a new account, you dick. Oh my god. And that's not a new account. I know. I was like, you can't be that quick to get a duplicate account. So you probably did put user on timeout.
Yeah, I think it is. It scared me. I got Power Driver Finisher. I was legitimately worried I banned you. I'm sorry.
You helped him though. You helped him, Power Driver Finisher. He had the red anger mist, and you brought him back from the abyss, aka AEW.
I needed this laugh this morning. I needed this.
Well, Power Driver Finisher, you need to scroll up and see all the love you got in the chat. Everybody loves you here. You're a valued member of our community, so never be scared to chat. Just don't make fun of Jeremy when he had the red anchor mix. When he sees red, he's like Joe Goldberg. It's a wrap.
I've told people I'm annoyed in these state of minds. Paul Jar finisher is praying for my downfall. I have power here for some reason. I will abuse it. Do you have Fightful Select, Paul Jar finisher? I'll give you a Fightful Select sub. I'll be
Look
kind.
at that. Look at that. Look at that. Love being spread. Love
If you
the
already
love
have
being
it, then I don't know. I'll pay for like a free month, whatever. It's $5. I write off mine anyway, so.
Hey, I stood up for you too, Power Driver. Don't just say thank you to the chat. Say thank you, SP3. I was an advocate on screen for you. I advocated for you like I was Paul Heyman out here in these streets.
Oh, he already has it. Well, then you don't get anything. So, sorry.
you get a cheese and cracker platter coming to you.
You don't get anything. You know, Paul Driver finisher. You know what I'll do for you because I appreciate you so much. There we go. Everyone can agree that is fantastic, and
it is
over it. All right. Where the hell are we? Paula says vanilla fumble is what we call the NBA playoffs scheduling. Actually, it's a silver fumble. The Thunder got 1 day off between games. Every other team got 2 days off between games. And they're like, you get 1 day. Let's wrap up this series. We don't care about this, you guys. 1 day off. All right.
1 day. There you go. Move on.
Better than Wolverine says Joel shows up to work as much as The Rock and shows up and he's like, I'm just gonna let Jeremy and SP3 have the spotlight. He's got a Scorsese movie to go film.
Let me move back, take a step back, and give them the spotlight. We got 6 weeks to build. Let's build.
And Ryan Adams says, I would like to apologize to FC3 for my Wolves in 7 comment. Apparently I was wrong. It's Wolves in 5. We shall see. We shall see. I did see a very funny tweet where they were talking about, the gorilla debate, and people like LeBron versus 10 gorillas. And someone quote tweeted that. It says, he's having trouble with 5 wolves right now. I thought that was funny. Sorry, SP3. Lakers in 7. Don't worry. Lakers in 7. I understand.
I'm laughing on the inside.
Fair. Lakers in 7. I still got faith. I still have faith. All right. Hope everybody's doing well. WWE. Go ahead.
Well, we gotta wait to talk about WWE Raw. We gotta figure out anything else to talk about because we have to wait for a 45-minute mark. I saw you guys talked a lot about. I saw you guys talked a lot about like TNA Rebellion. You talked about it as much as I want to talk about the Lakers versus the Wolves. That was funny. I will say you were so. I loved your short because that was exactly what I was saying on in our chat because that was the only match I stayed up for was the Ultimate X because it was the opener. So I was like, I could watch this and then go to sleep. And I watched that and I was just like. Man, I don't know what got me more upset. No one catching Leon Slater or that finish.
That catch or non-catch was not great. Not great. Like, I'm glad Sidney Akeem took some ownership and he came out and said something. AJ Francis also said something. AJ is the only person who at least had like an arm in there.
Yeah,
like,
he tried his best. He almost like tore his rotator cuff trying to catch him. And I mean I want to be nice to Moose, but like his response was just like
did he? I didn't see him respond.
Yeah, go, Jake. Yeah, it's just like, dude, this is not I understand you're upset or getting heat for it, but like AJ said, he's been getting more heat than anybody, and he was the only one that really tried. And shout outs to AJ for even taking some accountability and addressing it in the way that he did, because in comparison, man, he addressed it a lot better than freaking Moose.
Yeah, I see I see Moose tweet. Dude, his first tweet is, Leon, this moment will live forever, my friend. Yeah, because he nearly died. like that's why it'll live forever. Like, more people are talking about the not catch than like the actual dive, which was sweet. But that that's the unfortunate part of it. Yeah, and then he just tries to tweet through it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cardona
tweet through the pain. You're 0 for 46. Keep shooting. That's what Moose theory was.
Well, Cardona was the one who like really just kind of like moved on that one. Like, he probably should have been in a better position as well. I think it's on everybody at the end of the day. Like Sydney Akeem said, like, everybody's got to be better. Like, Sydney was kind of farther in the back, and he said that, you know, he kind of, his leg was buckled as people were moving back, so he wasn't able to get himself in a better position. AJ had his arm out to try to catch him, but other people moved. And I hope what they're saying on Twitter is not what's actually happening backstage, because there is a difference. Like, I'm not going to be naive and act like, oh, what happens online is like how things really are. Like, as The Rock famously said, it's all a work, brother. So I can 100% believe Moose is saying this stuff online, but backstage is apologetic and, you know, did say the right things. I would like to believe that anyway.
Yeah.
Because what's happening online is great.
Yeah.
Sucks.
And bravo to Ricky Morton, who's like the nicest like veteran out there. And he came out.
Ricky Morton, I got heat.
You got heat with everybody, apparently.
Nah, he started it.
How did he start it with you?
Oh, Sean tells this story. We were at WrestleCade, and Ricky Morton comes up to Sean, and he's like, "Oh, Sean, you're not answering my DMs." And then Sean's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then Sean's like, "This is our writer, Jeremy." And Sean goes, or Ricky Morton's like, "Oh, what's your name?" I was like, "Oh, Jeremy." He's like, "Brother, nobody gives a fuck." So I just got shot down by Ricky Morton.
That's an honor. Why are you guys with him?
No, like it's cool. Like, I got no beef with Ricky Morton. He apparently has beef with me, but I want people to punch him in the face. I'm happy when he gets punched in the face.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's kind of how Dutch Mantel was treating True Jaw Josh on True Hill Heat last time we had him on. I had to tell him that I was like, just so you know, Josh is Puerto Rican. He's not Mexican.
I'm not gonna say anything about Dutch. I've only done one show.
I love Dutch. Years ago. Right, we did probably, what was it, for Sports Kita with Dutch?
That's the only show that I did with him. He was fine on that show. I got nothing against them.
Yeah, he didn't bury you. It was because of he just kept making fun of Josh's haircut. It was awesome though. It was funny. Whoever I'm on camera with, usually he's making fun of the other person, not me. So it always works, especially when we did a show with me and Rick. That was awesome. He used to bury Rick all the time. It was great stuff.
I did the V trigger to Rick when you were doing the show with Dutch, right?
Yeah,
I do remember that. Yeah, Rick did the cameo, and I did the V trigger to him, which was very funny. That was at SmackDown. Yeah, it was SmackDown. I just ran up and V-triggered him. People were very worried about, like, what's happening here. Don't worry about it.
It's like what's going on here? Yeah. Guys, relax.
We're just doing shit.
Oh, and I did see in the chat, Jay Grills said that Joel wanted me to talk about the Stardom mass exodus that's been going on. I mean, firstly, Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom. Show of the year. It's the show of the year. Like, if y'all haven't watched it, go out of your way to watch it. Order it if you can. Get the English commentary because I heard Walker Stewart did an excellent job on English commentary, really kind of doing a Joey Styles and doing the one-man booth for a lot of the show. I did not watch it on English commentary. I watched it on Japanese commentary. It still had the same effect for me, but you can kind of hear the emotions in the commentators' voices, despite me not understanding the language at all. I like sometimes watching like New Japan or Stardom in Japanese commentary. It's a lot of fun. So best show of the year, because the only thing that came close to the in-ring quality on that show on Sunday was AEW Revolution, yet one of the best match, if not the best match, happened in the main event instead of the main event dragging the whole show down like Revolution. So Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom, best show of the year, bar none. The Tam Nakano versus Saya Kamitani main event is one of the most emotionally gripping, dramatic main events you will ever see. And Saya Kamitani, man, the character evolution that she's gone through from the Phoenix who was always crying and very emotional to this like cocky, confident in herself heel that she's been with the Hate faction, and now she was and then you saw the kind of the transformation where she went back to who she was previously as the Phoenix, getting so emotional in that matchup with Tam Nakano, which was her final match. It was career versus career. Tam Nakano losing, she now leaves the promotion, and Tam Nakano, Scott Edwards, Scott E Wrestling, he makes the best analogy where Tam Nakano is the Tetsuya Naito of Stardom. Someone who was who shouldn't have been as successful as she was, that had the ups and downs, but where they came from is quite amazing to see how much they have accomplished. Two-time World of Stardom champion, two-time Wonder of Stardom champion, one of the top draws ever in Stardom history. She has main evented two of the biggest shows in the history of Joshi wrestling, period, with the All-Star Grand Queendom event in 2023, where she defeated Julia for the World of Stardom Championship, and then this show here in front of 7,500 people. This was one of the biggest shows, if not the biggest show in Stardom history. She is the top draw in the company's history, and the way she went out was, this is what, like, when WWE fans say, oh, this Bloodline segment, it's cinema, they're actually showing emotions, it's cinema. No, you want to see real cinema? Watch the ending and the post-match between Tam Nakano and Saya Kamitani, where they go through like this emotionally gripping promo where Saya's crying, telling Tam how important she is to her, and that she wouldn't be who she is today, the top of Stardom, if not for Tam, how important that Tam was to her career and the company. And then the two warriors who just went to war for nearly 30 minutes, walking up. It was kind of like the end of an era matchup between at WrestleMania 28 between Triple H and The Undertaker, but I'm pretty sure these people won't be back the following year to ruin that. So Tam and her walking up the ramp and then collapsing on top of the ramp as feathers came down, and Tam points at the feathers, and then the screen goes black and she disappears. That was cinema. That was so deep art that you don't have to know the backstory, but if you know the backstory, it makes it even more kind of captivating to watch, compelling to watch. But even if you don't know it, you would just watch this and be like, wow, this is not like the typical type of wrestling that I usually watch. That matchup is one of the best matches of the year. And it came on a show that had another one of the best matches of the year, as Mayu Iwatani had her final match in Stardom, a 25-minute absolute war with Shuri, and Shuri is back. Shuri, big match Shuri, the queen that became known as the Brock Lesnar of Joshi wrestling back in 2022. It took her 2 years of being on the sideline, basically, and not getting the push that she deserves in Stardom, but she was back in this matchup, and Mayu Iwatani proved yet again why she is the greatest star in Stardom history, the greatest wrestler in Stardom history. No one sells, no one takes bumps, no one has the the facial expressions quite like Mayu Iwatani. She tells a story with her body language, with her facial expressions, unlike any wrestler that I've ever seen in this business, in this industry, like man or woman. No one does it like Mayu Iwatani, and she did it here. Stiff strikes, a great storytelling with the two women knowing each other so well. It came the submission work of Shuri. She turned into Zack Sabre Jr. doing like 4 or 5 submissions in like 2 minutes flat. It was so well done. Even with I made the comparison on True Hill Heat when me and Scott reviewed the show yesterday. This matchup is very much like a Joshi version of CM Punk versus John Cena from Money in the Bank 2011, because you know that this could be someone's last match in the company, but also there's a major botch in this matchup that takes nothing away from it. It adds to the realism of everything, because they did the botch, a major botch in the matchup, and they just kept going. They just kept shooting, and they started sinking threes, and it got so much better even after the botch that it was just so well done. Everything, man. These two women went out there and put on an instant classic, and it was revealed on Monday morning that Mayu Iwatani is leaving Stardom. I know there's been a conversation within like people like Dave Meltzer and other outlets saying like, can Mayu go to WWE? Could she go to AEW? Guys, y'all don't know Mayu Iwatani. If you're even taking that into consideration or listening to those people, they don't know Mayu Iwatani. She's staying in Japan. She's going to Marigold. This has kind of been a foregone conclusion for little less than a year, that Mayu was on her way out when her contract expired, and everybody and their mama pretty much knew she was going with the original founder of Stardom, Rossi Ogawa, who is now the owner and founder of Marigold, and she's going to go over there and she's going to tear it up. Her and Victoria Yuzuki, you got her and Saturday is going to have another banger over there. Her and Utami going to have another banger over there. She is definitely destined to go to Marigold. I'm not taking anytime I see somebody, oh, is Mayu going to WWE? Is Mayu going to join up with Julia and Io in WWE? Is she going to have some rematches with Timeless Toni Storm and AEW? No, she's going to stay in Japan. She's Mayu Iwatani. She's the weirdest professional wrestler ever as well. So she will stay in Japan, despite probably WWE and AEW wanting to bring her in. She's definitely going to stay in Japan.
If she's going to Marigold, though, that's a step towards WWE, right?
There's a possibility you can do a Io Sky versus Mayu in Marigold. It ain't happening in WWE though, so y'all gotta pay the $13 to get Wrestle Universe to see that matchup.
I know. It's Mayu Iwatani coming to NXT. Coming soon.
Coming soon, y'all. It's happening. You know, Julia's going up to the main roster, so they got to fill that Joshi hole. It's gonna be Mayu.
That's right. Julia's on main roster. Vakur, Roxanne, got to replace them. It's gonna be Mayu Iwatani and Tekla.
There you go. You and Mariah May. Mariah May's got her Stardom history as well. See, we've already filled the void.
Mariah May's going main roster. She's going straight to the main roster. She ain't doing NXT.
I think she's doing NXT.
And her, well, we'll talk more about Mariah May if and when she ends up leaving WWE. But I think she's going main roster if that happens. I'm not sold on it happening, by the way. I think it's still undecided. And apparently she still has a few months left on her contract anyway. So we shall see. I've not watched the Stardom show. I will watch it.
You should.
I've heard it's good.
And I'll talk about it again. I want to talk about this show. We need more people to watch this show because it needs to be the talk of the town. This is one of the best shows ever in Joshi wrestling, and it is the show of the year so far for professional wrestling in 2025.
Okay. I believe you. I just have not got a chance to watch it. I did watch Meiko Satomura's retirement match this morning.
I watched that this morning as well. I didn't watch I watched the main tag team matchup. I didn't get to
you didn't watch
watching
the 5 minute
the 5 minute handicap match.
Gotcha. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm a Joshi expert and I know all the history of Meiko Satomura and all of this stuff, but her and Aja Kong, still some really good stuff. Like,
it's so good, even in 2025. Like their rivalry dates back to like 1998. And like for the longest time, Meiko can never beat Aja until I think like pretty much when Sendai Girls started. That's when Meiko was able to finally kind of beat her. I think she beat her once for the AAW championship. But I think when Sendai Girls won, then she got a couple of more victories over Aja Khan. So it is a big deal with her pinning her in her final matchup. And I love the fact that so many people before the retirement matchup and even before the Stardom show, because Meiko was on that show in a really good trios matchup with the Sendai Girls versus the Cosmic Angels. And everybody was like, oh yeah, Meiko, she's gonna go out on her back. She's gonna lose at the Stardom show. She's gonna lose at her final match. I was like, nope, she pulled the sting. She won every one of those matches. She won that trios matchup on the Stardom show, and then she won the tag team matchup against Aja Khan and Hashimoto. And Hashimoto, she's one of like the most underrated women's wrestlers in the world. She's an absolute beast and a monster. Her versus Maika was another great matchup on the Stardom show. And also go out of your way to watch that Suzu Suzuki versus Mei Seta no DQ matchup. Those ladies were bleeding buckets in that matchup. That was probably any other show that would be the best match on the show and a match of the year candidate, but it came on the same show as Mayu versus Shuri and Tam versus Saya. So that's why it's not getting as much praise and talk as that one, but that was just as excellent as those two other matches. But yeah, Meiko, one of the absolute legends in this sport. She's been such an inspiration to so many people. I remember when I first saw Meiko Satomura was on, I think it was a WCW Nitro, was the first time that I ever saw her. Like a lot of my Japanese, like being fascinated by Japanese wrestling came from watching WCW Nitro and seeing like the New Japan stars, seeing your Meiko Satomuras. 1995 WWF, when Aja Khan came in and started killing people. That's when I got an interest in like the Joshi world and Japanese wrestling. So it's crazy now, all these years later, as I'm in my late 30s, I'm watching Meiko Satomura have her retirement matchup after when I was like 7, 8 years old watching her in WCW, and now I'm in my 30s watching her in this. Is crazy to kind of see how time flies like that.
Her winning her retirement match, which I'm all for, but the precedent has always been, oh, you go out in your retirement match, I think we've talked about it on the show before. Like, that isn't the thing anymore. People are just winning in their retirement matches now. I'm for it. Like, hey, if that's how you want to go out, but we kind of have to start thinking in those terms now, I feel like, because we've seen it. Look, Flair won his last match. Sting won his last match. Meiko has now won her last match. We're getting to Cena and Tanahashi and their retirement match. And it's like, I'm not going to be surprised if they win in their retirement matches. And Sabu, that was a good shot, Louis. Sabu won his last match. Like, it just feels like everyone understands, hey, you should have a good moment and let's end on happiness with things. I mean, technically, Triple H and Shawn Michaels won that shitty Saudi match, right? They won that match. Technically, Shawn Michaels won his last match. I know he lost his career versus WrestleMania match, but yeah.
It's not his last match. Undertaker won his last match.
Yeah. Like, I think we got to start thinking more of people are going to win their last match and not lose it at this point. Yeah. Oh, poor Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle needs to come back and do one more match and just win.
Word. Just have him win. He deserves to be in that echelon of guys who win their last matchup.
Yeah. Yes. That's what needs to happen. So, all right. Anything else that isn't WWE that you want to touch on?
I think we I mean, other than the only other like Japanese related stuff, I did watch some of the what is it, Wrestling de Kuna show from New Japan this morning.
Yeah.
With El Desperado and Templario. Really good main event matchup. Desperado, he's like one of the more dependable, reliable wrestlers on the New Japan roster. And then I also watched the New Japan Red Zone. I watched the top 2 matches for the Red Zone event on this past Saturday. And my God, people are not talking enough about that tag team matchup with Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi versus Taichi and Tomohiro Ishii. That was an absolute splendid matchup. Go out of your way to watch it. If you want to see Naito put on one last great performance for New Japan Pro Wrestling, because I don't know if he's going to get that opportunity with these final 2 shows on Saturday and Sunday for Wrestling Dontaku. But this might be the last like great match he has for New Japan Pro Wrestling before he becomes this freelancer. That matchup was absolutely excellent. All 4 guys really delivered. Taichi and Tomohiro Ishii worked really well with each other for their first time being as a unit. Hiromu was really had a lot of like emotion and passion put into the matchup because this is like Naito's kind of adopted hometown of Hiroshima. And Naito got so emotional. Naito, after he lost the matchup, was on the mat just lying there crying, visibly crying tears as he like embraced Taichi at the end. So if you want matches with full of emotion, watch that Stardom show and then watch that New Japan Red Zone tag team matchup with LIJ and Ishii and Taichi. But that's pretty much it for my non-WWE from this weekend. Unless you want to talk about TNA Rebellion again?
No, thank you. And if you have more thoughts on TNA Rebellion, you're welcome to share.
I mean, the only thing worth talking about was the Santana and Mustafa Ali matchup. That was an absolute banger. That's the only match worth talking about again. But y'all talked about it enough yesterday. I'm not going to do that to you. Hello. Oh, you got me a sandwich. What is this? What's in the sandwich?
More
barbecue. It's more barbecue? Yeah, it smells like a lot of barbecue on here. What else is in it? Cheese?
Cheese.
And bread.
Mayonnaise.
And mayonnaise?
And ketchup and
What is this concoction?
Barbecue.
It's just barbecue sauce, cheese, mayonnaise, and ketchup.
I wasn't sure.
My missus said a whole bottle of barbecue sauce she used on this sandwich.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like barbecue, like, barbecue pork, or if it was just barbecue sauce. Hold on, move it towards.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can see.
Yeah, let's see this. Is there?
I just smell the barbecue coming off of it.
So is there no like meat or anything?
No meat at all. At all. So, it's not even slices of cheese. It's like cheese.
Like shredded cheese?
Shredded cheese, yeah.
Can you take a bite of it?
Unless we get a $50 super chat, I will not do that. No.
What if it's $50 added up?
No, $50 super chat.
Oh, just one super chat.
Yeah, one super chat, $50. That's the only way I will do it. I'm gonna call people's bluff if they really want me to do that.
That's a lot of money.
Exactly.
I wouldn't do that to anybody. I mean, we appreciate if you do, but that
you really want to make me sick today if you do that. You want to say hi to Jeremy?
Yeah, Harlem, tell him to eat it.
Say hi. Just say hi. Okay.
She feels like she's captive. She's screaming for her mom.
Just like, Mom!
Like, this man is taking me hostage.
Mom!
Mom, he won't eat my food, and now he's taking me hostage. Come help me.
Just smells like a whole bunch of barbecue sauce in here now.
So it's barbecue sauce, ketchup, mayonnaise, and shredded cheese. Is that it? Did I miss anything?
I think she said ketchup.
Yeah, I said ketchup.
Yeah.
My wife could make that for me right now. I'll take a bite of that sandwich.
You're braver than me.
And she's listening to this, and she's probably not going to do it. She's probably going to be like, "No, this is dumb." But we'll put the pressure on her. If my wife makes me this and brings it to me, I will take it.
Don't do it.
The pressure is on her, everybody.
I love that. Don't do it.
Oh, she sent me a message that said, "Fuck that."
Just wasting barbecue sauce. I like the barbecue sauce too. Now I gotta go to the store and get a new bottle.
Yeah, barbecue sauce actually sounds really good right about now. I'm gonna get some nuggies, get some chicken nuggets after this.
Put some barbecue I had some chicken nuggets. Mrs. went to Mickey D's. I was watching the kids this morning. She brought back Mickey D's, and I had some nuggets. So
nice. She's asking, "Do you really want that?" Like, no. But for like bit purposes, like I'm not above eating this for the bit. I feel like it'd be like it's not harmful. You know what I mean? Like I'm not hurting myself doing this.
I mean, maybe.
I don't need $50 in super chats. We get a little.
Yes,
bit.
you do. Yes, you do. But I think we can talk about Monday Night Raw now, I guess.
All right, folks. Send in $10 worth of super chats and I'll eat this sandwich.
Oh,
total.
Now this.
Total. Doesn't have to be one $10
this guy.
$10 one from one person or $1 from 10 people. However we get there. I'll eat this sandwich.
You're cheap.
I'm super cheap. I'm a whore. I can do that. You kidding me?
He's a cheap date guy.
I'm like Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, like wrestling soulmates. Like I'm a wrestling slut. Yeah, I'm in the weed slut. You just a little bit of money, and I'm good. I'll do this. Let's see how cheap our chat is what we should really be looking at. Like. Cyclops is better than Wolverine says he'll put up 5 if anybody's matching him to make 10. So there you go.
There you go.
All right. My poor wife's gonna have to make this. I don't know. It's gonna be fucking concoction. Xenar says put some. No. We're making it just like Harlem made it. We're not gonna. Yep. We're not going on
the Harlem sandwich. Yeah. Or as Power Jerry Finisher said, the shut up dada sandwich. She's trying to make me really shut up.
Oh, my wife has already made it, so it's made, everybody.
Oh God, let's see. Oh my God.
I can confirm there's mayonnaise. It looks like jizz. Like it's just very white down there. You can kind of see. Like I'm a little concerned about that, but it's there. It's made. All right, you guys are talking a big game of I'll put up this much and I'll do this, but I haven't seen anything, folks. So, Louis got 5, but he says don't eat it. Mixed messages there, Louis. Mixed messages.
Jizz.
All right.
There it is.
We're 1 cent short. That's $4.99. We're 1 cent short.
Oh my God.
We need it for 1 penny. That's all we need.
That's all we need. 1 cent donation.
Who said they were gonna do $1? It's Sofa Kit said they were gonna do $1. So it's on you, Sofa Kit. You got to come through with not even $1, just a penny. People are saying don't do it. Why not? I feel like it's pretty harmless.
We're $40 away from me doing it. So there you go. Yeah. But
SP3 is expensive. Cyclops better than Wolverine went 99 cents. Look at this man.
There we go.
What an honorable man.
Go do it. Right.
What's that?
Do it.
Oh, okay. I am. Yeah, come on now. All right, so there's like a good amount of barbecue sauce on like this edge here, so I'm gonna eat that edge. Should I like fold it? Let me fold it, and that way
Yeah.
I'll get like everything in there. All right, so we folded it in half, and we'll take a bite out of it. There's really nothing to it. Like, it's just like barbecue sauce. That's all I really taste. It's just the barbecue sauce. Yeah. Honestly, not terrible.
Yeah.
Not the worst thing I've eaten.
Yeah, I mean, her Harlem sandwiches are better than the drinks that she would used to make me.
Oh yeah, she concocts some stuff on that.
Yeah.
Wow.
She used to put barbecue sauce in the drink as well.
I don't know about all that. So I don't feel like I could have this as like a liquid. That would seem like terrible.
Yeah.
But on a sandwich, it just tastes like a lot of barbecue sauce and bread. I might be feeling it later, but right now, like, it's fine.
Are you gonna eat the whole thing?
No, it's not bad.
I thought you were just gonna take a bite.
It's not bad. I'm hungry. This is lunch.
He's eating it like it's a peanut butter and jelly right now.
It's not bad, like, honestly. And Jeremy's stomach's gonna sound like Penta's theme. I might regret this later, but like for now, it's fine. I got water over here. Chase it, some water. Yeah, wasting food? Come on now. I like my wife feels bad now because she just messaged, I can make you a real sandwich. Like if you're hungry, like you don't have to eat this.
This homeless sandwich.
This barbecue jizz sandwich.
That's what homeless people. That's what homeless people have.
Not terrible.
Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it.
You're not gonna try Harlem's?
We're 40. We're about 40, less than $40 away. But yes, we do have to talk about. That is actually true. Kai said homeless people eat better. SP3, yes, because stupid people throw away good food, and homeless people get to eat that.
That's true, actually. That's very true.
So yes, Monday Night Raw last night, Jeremy.
That show.
Did you watch it this morning? Or did
I watched it last night. I just had to, like, my focus was elsewhere. Again, the game didn't start till 10, so I saw the first 2 hours of the show. And then the last hour was all the Seth and Braun Breaker stuff. So it started with Seth and him still being Seth with his peacock coat that apparently cost like $1,300. $13,000. Sorry, let me not shortchange old Seth Rollins here. $13,000 for this coat that he was wearing. And then Sami Zayn came out and it's like, "What are you doing? You're just being the bloodline." And Seth was like, "We talked about the future and how we wanted to run the business, and that's what I'm doing." And then Sami Zayn had a decision to make. And throughout the show, we got advice on what to do. Paul Heyman said you can go to SmackDown and you can get an instant shot at the undisputed title. You can face the winner of John Cena and Randy Orton.
I would have took the deal right then and there.
Hey, Sammy kind of dumb, honestly. Because at the end of the day, Sammy said, "Nope, not going to do that." And so he got his ass kicked by Braun Breaker in the end. And then Seth laid him out with a stomp. Right? You got a lot to say about this. Like, I thought it was good. I need to see something a little bit more and different from Seth than last night.
I think that is the main talking point, because this new heel faction that we were talking about at the end of the Raw after WrestleMania was the most overt act and the most cheered act on the entire show. Like, despite being the top, supposedly supposed to be the top heel faction, and it was funny because I had someone in the comments tell my comments when I talked about how this was the show long narrative, and I thought it was strong work overall all around. I thought Sami Zayn really, they drove home his never say die kind of likable babyface character very well with the conflict that he was going through. I thought the Paul Heyman segment backstage was really well done, with Paul Heyman kind of being the devil on his shoulder and trying to manipulate him into taking the offer. I thought Seth, when he went against Sami on the mic in the opening segment and in the final segment, was really well done, and he kind of seemed more like a devious heel character. The issue is why he got cheered is because you have changed nothing about him. Like, I understand that maybe you want to do a gradual change with Seth Rollins. That's all fine and dandy. But there's no way this crowd is going to react to him as the top heel if he still has this dumbass theme song. I'm annoyed by this dumbass theme song, and I've shown that when I reacted to it when I was in the O2 in London, when all these freaking English people want to just, British people just want to go, oh, I hate that song so much. And it's not a heel song. They're going to want to sing that song. Change your damn music. When are they going to figure this out? And then Seth, he's still doing the welcome everyone to Monday Night Rollins. It's Kansas City. Yeah, he said our name. He said our name. He said the city that we're from. And I'm a visionary. I'm a revolutionary. I am Seth Rankin Rollins. And he's doing the sing-along with the crowd. I was like, so nothing's changed. You're still your babyface character. This is not the hardcore wrestling fans that were in Las Vegas that did give y'all a heel reaction when y'all beat down Roman Reigns and CM Punk. I think that if you were going against and being opposite a Roman Reigns who's very popular right now, then maybe you could have made the transition. But Seth being the main talker for this group, that's problem number one. Problem number two is the theme song. Problem number three is that Braun Breaker is also very popular with him destroying things. So all of these combined to a heel group that got 99.9% of cheers last night. It was ridiculous. Like, the whole closing segment was really good stuff, but the crowd just popped for everything. Instead, when Sami Zayn, the most likable babyface in the WWE, is getting beaten to a pulp by Braun Breaker and getting speared to death, you then have the fans yelling, one more time, one more time, one more time, and then you do it one more time? What are you thinking? Are you trying to be heel at this point? Like, what was going on? Like, how is not Paul Heyman is one of the greatest talkers of all time. He's the guy that just betrayed the two top baby faces in CM Punk and Roman Reigns. He should be the main talker here. Change Seth's music, and Braun, stop listening to the crowd. They want you to do one more time. Don't do it. Just beat him up. Just knee him in the gut, forearm him, bloody him up. Do whatever you want to do. Don't keep doing spears when the crowd is just chanting one more time, one more time, one more time. Then you're listening to them. You're giving them what they want. And all they're going to want in exchange for that is one more time, one more time, one more time. It was frustrating. It was frustrating to watch because I liked the show long narrative. I like anytime there's a show long narrative through my wrestling TV show, that you start off with your first segment and it sets up things that are sprinkled throughout the night, and then you have the payoff at the end of the show. So all of that was very well done. But I think I've named the real issues here with this faction right now, and WWE has to figure it out in the next week or two before this faction can actually gain some momentum.
You know, when this was doomed, when Seth says, "You're chanting for CM Punk," and the crowd boos CM Punk.
And he waited for them to chant CM. He's like, He was like, he was like,
they got there after a little while for a very faint CM Punk chants. And I was like, oh, that didn't go how you thought it was going to go. You thought that was going to be loud, deafening, and you could play off of that. Instead, they booed the mention. I hope they change something with this group because you're right about everything. Like, you're right with it. And we saw it immediately when the music was the same and the crowd is chanting his doing his song, singing his song. And it's like, he's going to get cheered off of this. People are going to think he's right, which I know, some heels can be justified, but you can't have a distinguishable thing like that when you're a heel. You can't have something the crowd is going to react to when you're a heel. And then to not change anything about the presentation once you actually do get on the mic of welcome to Monday Night Rollins, visionary, blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, you're still like the same guy we kind of like. Now you're just kind of with Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker, but we also still kind of like Braun Breaker as well because he's cool and he could just destroy stuff. They've made it so much about, I mean, you've said it, SP3, the moment merchant stuff. It's like the character, the definition of the character doesn't mean as much as what can we chant for? What can we cheer for? What can we pop for? Because that's what they've been told, is that this is a cool moment. We should cheer for that. And less about, they like to, pretend, oh, these characters are so deep and so layered and all this stuff. And like they are to an extent, but it doesn't always play out like that on television when they just get cheered for all of these things. And it doesn't help when Braun Breaker is delivering a spear when they say one more time. Like that goes back to the Bronson Reed stuff. They're chanting Bronson Reed one more time. He's doing the multiple tsunamis. We just saw it last week with Becky. They're chanting one more time on the Manhandle Slam. And she goes back and does it. You gotta flip them off and be like, no, fuck your one more time. I'm not doing that. He's already dead. Yeah, I don't need to do one more time. And then you can turn it into boos, and it's like, okay, maybe we don't like this person now. I thought the overall, from start to finish, the story was good and made some sense. But the crowd reaction, I don't think, is what they were going for. And Seth not really changing anything about, at least Braun wore a suit. At least we had that from him. But Seth not really changing anything. Like, oh, all right, are we going to see that level up? Paul Heyman talked about that. He talked about when I aligned with Roman Reigns, he went from the big dog to the tribal chief. And that was a complete overhaul of what we saw. We got to see something similar from Seth, because if he's just going to still be this visionary Seth Rollins, people like that character. People like that theme. So we got to get something different.
Yeah, and saying, oh, this group is going to be the future of the industry. It's just like these overly crafted, manufactured terms that is just... that's why I said, like I specified, the good stuff that we saw from Seth Rollins right now was anytime he was interacting with Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn is an actual layered character. But like I said, I had someone in the chat was like, oh, didn't the Bloodline always get cheered unless they were beating down Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn? And I was like, this was a new faction that is 1 week old beating down Sami Zayn, and they got cheered. That's one difference. The other difference is that when the Bloodline first was in front of fans in 2021, they did get booed. They did get booed because they were the top heel faction, other than Roman, who got like a mixture of boos and cheers for most of his run when they came back in front of the live fans out of the pandemic. It was mostly boos, though, for them. Like when he beats Bryan Danielson and Edge at WrestleMania 37, he got booed for it. Like, he got booed most of the time. It wasn't until like the Sami Zayn stuff started kicking in that the Bloodline got any type of positive reactions. They were booed most of the time. It wasn't week 1 of the group where they're getting cheered because you decided to not change anything about them. And you're absolutely right with what Paul Heyman said. Like, when Roman first aligns with Paul Heyman, it's he starts the gradual change that he made. He went from, the big dog to the tribal chief, the head of the table, but it wasn't all of that like in 1 week. It was a gradual change, but from week 1 we saw the change. Week 1 is him not wanting to sign the contract for the WWE for the Universal Championship matchup with the Fiend and Braun Strowman, and then they end the night with him sitting next to Paul Heyman and he's saying, I'll sign the contract on Sunday. And then when we see him at Payback, he doesn't show up till late in the matchup. Roman Reigns, who's always been one of the hardest workers, just shows up, smashes, and then leaves and wins the Universal Championship. We saw an instant change once he aligned with Paul Heyman. We have not seen that with Seth Rollins. If the story is, Paul Heyman wants to align with Seth because Seth is not going to change, he's still going to be the same person, then you need to say that too, because we still don't have a on-screen WWE TV explanation of why Paul Heyman chose CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Chose Seth over CM Punk and Roman Reigns. We got it on the Pat McAfee show. That's all fine and dandy. I'm not watching the Pat McAfee show unless The Rock is on there. So I did not see anything that happened with Paul Heyman over there. We need the explanation on WWE TV. We need the explanation on Monday Night Raw. We need an explanation why Braun Breaker has joined this group. We got none of those answers. They tried to see if we can get heel heat on this group by going against one of the most beloved baby faces on the roster. That did not work also. So let's get the explanation first next week and then start these gradual changes, specifically for Seth Rollins.
I think they think the explanation is what Seth said leading up to the event. And that is CM Punk is fragile. He's not going to be there every week. He might take his ball and go home. Roman's not going to be there every week because he's only working a part-time schedule and he's doing other things. I'm here every week. I'm showing up to work. I'm grinding. I'm working hurt. Paul Heyman respects that. And it's what Seth said with the friendship stuff. CM Punk's not your friend. He wanted a favor to do the Survivor Series match. Roman Reigns isn't your friend. He just used you the entire time. I think they're trying to let that stuff be the explanation. And when it comes to Braun Breaker, it's sort of what Seth said last night of like, this is his vision of the future. He sees Braun Breaker as the future. And so he's brought him into this group. I think they're trying to be subtle with the reasoning. I could be completely off base, mind you. Maybe I'm giving WWE a little bit too much credit here. But there's been what Seth has said as the reason to kind of lay this stuff out. So I don't think I'm fully giving them too much credit. I do think this is their reasoning for things. I also think there needs to be a little bit of explanation for it as well. And even if you're not going to give the explanation, Seth's presentation does need a little bit of a change to hammer home some points with things. And they just don't want to make him the super serious guy because they already got serious Roman Reigns and serious CM Punk. So they're just going with, Seth is still going to be flamboyant and, the visionary and the revolutionary and dress in the way that he dresses with things. Because he has won. Oh, God.
And I will also admit, I do not like the visionary character. I've been annoyed with Seth Rollins as this he's a revolutionary. I'm a visionary. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it so much. So to have this big significant moment and then he just goes right back to what he was doing that I wasn't into, that's also probably a thing why I didn't like it. But it's also why it didn't get the reaction that it was supposed to get as also.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it got the reaction they wanted it to. I don't think they want this group to be cheered. It shouldn't be cheered. And I think that's why they put Sami in this position too, because it's like, okay, Sami Zayn. People aren't gonna cheer for you over Sami Zayn. Everyone loves Sami. He is the underdog babyface. And it got cheered over, beating up Sami Zayn. So they gotta tweak some things in the next week to hammer home and like show these guys are not guys you're supposed to be rooting for. And I think a Paul Heyman promo can do quick work on that too. It's just you gotta let Paul Heyman talk, and he didn't talk. He's barely talked through 2 weeks. He called Seth the undisputed #1 box office draw, and that was it. That's about the only talking he's really done over the past couple of weeks. So, got to give him a little bit more on there.
Yeah. And also another kind of just, I would say, maybe structural issue on Monday Night Raw is that I feel like I'm an echo in here because I've said this many a times when we on Tuesday shows when we talk about Monday Night Raw. The World Heavyweight title is a mid-card title. Even on a show that doesn't have another World Title Championship on it, it's still the mid-card. Like I was like when it came with the Logan Paul segment, because I figured. And I think we mentioned this after WrestleMania that Logan Paul was the logical person to feud with Jey Uso coming off of his world title win, because he's an established heel that they know the crowd boos. And I even got like Romeo in our True Heel Heat chat that was like, this is why I respect Logan Paul, because at least Logan Paul, he gets booed by the fans instead of the Seth group that's getting cheered. And I was just like, well, it's kind of go away heat, so I don't think that's the most effective heat either. But it makes sense for him to be feuding with Jey Uso because Jey Uso is so beloved by the fans. But like when they didn't place this segment at the top of like the second hour or the top of the third hour, that it's just like 45 minutes into the show. Like it's like the second or third segment on the show. I was like, you guys just never want to make this world title even semi-important. Even semi, like I'm not even asking for it to start the show. I'm not asking for it to end the show, but at least put it at the top of the hour strategically, because top of the hour stuff get the most views. You don't even want people to know that Jey Uso is the World Heavyweight Champion. What is going on?
Logan Paul feels like such a throwaway first challenger. I don't have much interest in this. And then Gunther's feuding with an announcer. And I like the Pat McAfee promo. That was a very good promo. But we're doing Gunther and an announcer here. Like these are your big feuds. Logan Paul. Like I would have much preferred just Jay and Seth. And I realize that's probably a short reign for Jay.
Yeah.
The reign was supposed to be the Yeet moment at WrestleMania. Much like his Intercontinental title reign, I don't think it wasn't a long reign. It was, hey, let's give Jay this moment, but we don't have full plans for a long title reign. And I'm fine with that. You don't always need these super long title reigns. I think we've been conditioned to think every title reign has to be 6 months or more, but a short title reign is fine, especially for baby faces that are kind of in the position that Jay are in, where obviously over. I'm not gonna deny otherwise, but he's not a baby face that is going to kind of carry a feud as a champion. He's not Steve Austin in that regard. He's not The Rock in that regard. He's a guy who's over, who can challenge for the title, who can win the title and have a short reign with it, but is better off as kind of the chaser challenger more than a long-term kind of babyface champion.
Jay in a lot of ways is this generation's Jeff Hardy. Go back to like the height of Jeff Hardy's popularity in like the late 2000s. he never had long reigns with his longest reign, I think, was like a month and a half with the World Heavyweight Championship, and that was in the midst of the CM Punk rivalry. Like his first reign lasts a month. He loses it because of his brother. Then he wins it. I think he wins it back from Edge and holds it for like 2 minutes before CM Punk cashes in. Then he wins it from Punk at Night of Champions, and then immediately loses it to him at SummerSlam. He had 3 reigns that lasted about 2 months in total. Like, yeah, that's probably where Jay needed to be. Like, because at least you could say him winning the World Heavyweight Championship, and then we're immediately putting him into the top program on Monday Night Raw with him, Seth Rollins. He'll drop the title to Seth, and then he could chase Seth for the title. That will be our feud for the summer of Jay and Sami versus this new heel faction. That should have been the direction that they gone, because really, like, even with the backstage segment with Jay interacting with Sami, I was like, okay, what's gonna happen to keep Jay away from getting involved in this main event? I like called what was about to happen. I was like, something's about to happen. So Jay, because they kept the camera on him way too long, where I was just like, something's about to happen where he's gonna be kept away from getting involved in this final segment, right? And on the third right, Logan Paul punches him in the face and knocks him out with the titanium punch to keep him out of it. And I was just like, yep, that's about it. And like, none of Logan Paul's feuds have any type of substance. It's like the most surface level crap. Logan Paul wants the World Heavyweight Championship. Jay says that, oh, I tapped into a new side of myself when Gunther bloodied my twin in front of me, and you're gonna have to take this title from me, and I know no YouTuber, no bum ass YouTuber is gonna take it from me. And he says, oh, their World Heavyweight title reign is gonna last as long as your Intercontinental title reign. It's just basic. It's basically like, what's the recent history of the person that he's facing, and Logan's going to cut promos on that. That's all his feuds are. There's no type of substance. There's no type of layered storytelling at all. Logan Paul has regressed, unfortunately. Like I said that after the AJ Styles matchup, that I much prefer spot monkey trying to impress the fans Logan Paul from this kind of manufactured Logan Paul that we have now, where he's doing a lot of athletic stuff, but it's just like video game moves. There's no psychology behind it, and that also kind of bleeds over into his promo work and character work on the weekly television. There's no type of substance, no type of psychology to his character at all.
I don't think he's a good promo either. Like I think he tries to be a good promo, if that makes sense, but it doesn't come off like he's a naturally just kind of unlikable guy. But he goes out there and he like tries to be unlikable, and it just comes off kind of forced and fake almost. Like I actually prefer, like I watch his like vlogs and stuff because I'm like looking for news and whatnot. Like I prefer that dude more than, like, he feels like he's got to switch it on for the camera. It's like, no, you can probably just like go out there and just like not be pro wrestler, just be Logan Paul, and you'd probably be better off with that. Because when you want to be like pro wrestler Logan Paul, like you said, it's more go away heat type stuff. It's like, I don't believe you when you're actually saying this, when I should believe you, because I do think it's truthful, but you're trying so hard to make it truthful that I'm not really invested in this. Maybe I'm the only person who gets that kind of vibe, but it feels like he's playing pro wrestler out there, when I think if he's just himself, it'd probably be a lot better. Because I think he already is unlikable. So it probably, like, I think the backstage stuff is funny when he's like trying to give people advice. It's like, oh, if you need help with like your moonsault, let me know. And the humble things, like, that person's not humble. I'm so humble. Like, I think it's kind of funny when he does that stuff. And he is like, it is very dickish, and I don't like him when he does it, even though it pops me. But when he goes out in front and the camera turns on, It's like, oh, you're trying hard here. All right.
He needs to like watch promos from other people who were celebrities that just naturally kind of got it. Like, go back and watch like the promo work of like he's not awful person, but Floyd Money Mayweather ahead of WrestleMania what was it, 24? Like, yes, he has a whole character that he kind of developed from his boxing run, but he was able to naturally transition that into the wrestling world. Or for even better purposes, someone who wasn't a good promo but was still him when he was in the pro wrestling world, Dennis Rodman. Anytime Dennis Rodman was on promos, he would just be himself, and he would just be very cocky and confident and kind of aloof all at the same time. Those are the people that he should be adapting from instead of trying to play a pro wrestler with a pro wrestler promo and trying to be the heel who said, "Oh, I'm richer than you guys," and stuff like that. Yeah, I will agree with you. I much prefer him trying to be an extension of himself instead of this over the top version of like a podcaster playing pro wrestler.
Cody Rhodes had this issue when he first left WWE. To me, it felt like he wanted to just play pro wrestler on the independent scene. So he's like, this is what a pro wrestler should feel like on the independent scene. And then through just a lot of work and through figuring out certain things and going to different places and stuff, then he started to feel like more like Cody Rhodes is a pro wrestler through and through. He is.
Yeah.
But there is a difference between going out there and being a pro wrestler and then going out there and just like playing that character. He finally figured it out. Something switched for him where he figured out, oh, I can just kind of be myself. And an extension of that is I am a pro wrestler instead of, again, just the try hard aspect of it.
It was the Bullet. It was hanging out with the Bullet Club.
I think it was hanging out with the Bullet Club. Because they didn't take things super serious.
Because that's the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks in a nutshell. That's what got them to get over as characters on the Indies and PWG and New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor. Was they just started just being an extension of themselves, but just very cocky and having fun with it. And that same thing with Kenny Omega to a certain extent as well. He got more serious as he elevated himself up the ladder in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but he's always kind of been Kenny Omega. So like, it was hanging out with the Bullet Club guys. I think that's when I agree with you, it really started to click, because I was also like that, where I would see him on like your WCPW or even his run in like Impact Wrestling, and I was
Impact
just like,
really highlighted to me of, oh, he's coming here and he's playing the guy he thinks he should play instead of just being himself. Again, once he just figured out, oh, I can just kind of be myself and I am a pro wrestler, then he's, now look at him. Logan, something needs to flip for Logan when it comes to that as well. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. The point of all this is Jey Uso and Logan Paul doesn't feel like a super hot feud going into Backlash, which I assume that's where the match will take place, is Backlash.
I would hope so. I
don't know, that card's already got Becky and Lyra, Cena and Orton, Gunther and Pat McAfee. That's already 3 matches. There's only going to be like 2 more matches on that card, and 3 of those, I guess. The Orton one's weird because is that a SmackDown match? Is that a Raw match? I guess technically it's a SmackDown match. Feels like you got to get something else from SmackDown on that card, and probably like Nia and Tiffany might be the other match on that card. I mean,
I'm sorry to react that way, but I'm just like, I was not interested in that. When Nia was the one that came out to attack Tiffany, I was like, this is the best you have for Tiffany Stratton after the biggest win of her career. This is the best we can do. Maybe the US title, like LA B Glass is saying, the US title, it's not going to probably be Fatu and Knight. What they set up on SmackDown last Friday was probably a Fatu, Knight, McIntyre, and Priest 4-way. So I could see that happening at that's a type of matchup that seems like it would be to be able to get more guys on the show for Backlash. But yeah, you mentioned the McAfee and Gunther. I thought McAfee's promo was great. I don't like Pat McAfee. I think that I genuinely find him annoying, and I don't think he's a good wrestling commentator. But when he's able to kind of sink his teeth into something wrestling wise and building up a matchup, he could be very effective. I mean, a lot of the reason why I liked last night's promo is he's cursed twice. He said he's a loyal motherfucker, and fuck that. So that helped get the crowd behind him in a big way. Other than that, he was doing a lot of, oh, I'm a good guy because I give to charities. But that part of it, I was just like, I still don't like you. But he got the passion, he got the, talking about how much Michael Cole means to him, how much of a good friend that he is, and he's a good friend to him, and he cares about the people from his team. So it helped really get some momentum behind the Gunther matchup. And I thought the best job that he did was not even the promo, was when he came off of the high of the promo and he was like, well, I guess I got a match with Gunther now. I was like, that old. That was the best part of your whole entire character work, was you coming down from getting all hyped up, getting the fans behind you, and then realizing, oh shit, I am facing Gunther at Backlash.
I thought his promo was good. I thought he sold it really well. If McAfee and Gunther is your best option, I think that does say something, unfortunately. Like, that's where you feel you have to go after this is Pat McAfee and Gunther. There's got to be better options. As good as McAfee was, again, he did a great promo. And McAfee's like fine in the ring. His matches have been good. Like he's a celebrity wrestler. They work a certain style. They're protected. They get their big moments in there. And because you only see it a couple times a year, it feels bigger than everything else. And so it's going to be good in that aspect. It's like, this is what you got for Gunther after all of this. Truthfully, he should kill Pat McAfee in about 15 seconds, because the last time we saw Pat McAfee in the ring, he couldn't beat a 80-year-old who could barely stand. So,
well, that wasn't the last time. People tend to forget he did beat The Miz at WrestleMania 39.
I definitely forgot about that. What the technical last time was him getting in the ring and then jumping immediately out, right? Because Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
for the
2024 Royal Rumble.
Yeah, all right. So that was technically the last time he was in there. Is him jumping immediately out.
But his last singles match was against The Miz on.
I completely forgot about that Miz match.
Yeah, because Snoop Dogg still outdid him the following night, so that's why. That's why, because Miz had 2 matches on WrestleMania 39 that we all try to forget about.
I remember the Snoop Dogg match. That's the greatest match of all time. I remember that.
I was setting you up for that. But yeah, I would just hope that this matchup is mainly Gunther beating the crap out of him, eventually getting some hope spots, and then Gunther murders him in the end. Like, don't this doesn't need to be like a 15-minute matchup. This should be 10 minutes or less, preferably less. Gunther marks him and moves the hell on, or Gunther tries to beat him up post-match, and then fellow football player Goldberg comes out to make the save.
Oh, okay. I like what you're doing with Goldberg there. I think a lot of people or both of us, I'm pretty sure, mentioned this of McAfee would be the bridge to get Goldberg and Gunther. So I like that. I could see that happening here. Okay. It should be a quick match, though. I don't need Pat McAfee doing like a 15, 20-minute match. That's for sure.
No, and I don't think he's ready for that either.
It's gonna open up. It's gonna start a discourse when Pat McAfee has a better match with Gunther than Jey Uso. By the way,
I can't wait. I can't wait. Joe, just call out on the May 12th edition of In the Weeds. I can take over and I can talk about and praise Pat McAfee for putting on a better match than Jey Uso. Oh my God, I would be crying tears of joy. So yeah, it doesn't need to be that long. Doesn't need to, and yeah, it just needs to be like Gunther murdering him in the end. But I think the crowd is behind it. I liked the segment last night. Nick Aldis is a better authority figure than Adam Pearce, so put some respect on his goddamn name, Pat McAfee, instead of calling him SmackDown version of Adam Pearce.
What's up with Raw? Is usually super chaotic and stuff. All this apparently just commands more authority because it wasn't chaotic at all.
No,
like it was.
No.
Everyone saw all this there, and they're like, we could better be on our best behavior. Where, when old Pierce is around, everyone's like, let's run wild. I guess because Pierce retired sooner than all this. So I was like, Pierce has been out the game for like 10 years. We can get away with some shit. All this has only been out the game for like a year. So we better mind our manners a little bit.
Much like their NWA World Heavyweight title runs, Nick Aldis is just better than Adam Pearce. So
fair.
Yeah. The national treasure. He demands more respect. So yeah, I liked Aldis as a general manager last night. You did mention the other matchup that was made official for Backlash for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Yes, our thumbnail that we're talking about nearly with what 20 minutes to go in the show, because it was so important to the show that Joe had to make it the thumbnail. Becky Lynch came out and explained that she was the one behind attacking Bayley, which I think that she had pretty sound explanation. I will say it was a pretty sound explanation. Yes, Bayley had been attacking her all the time. Yes, I agree.
That's why I thought this
doesn't make you a heel.
I mean, everyone still loves Bayley, so it still does make her a heel in that regard. I thought it was a good promo from Becky. And then I thought it was a good promo from Lyra as well. And then they set up the match.
This whole thing just feels really rushed. Like we went from point A of this whole story, and we're already at like N or Q, R, S, T, U, V, and it feels like Backlash we're already at Z. Like this whole like WWE should have took us on a journey. I said it last week. They should have took us on a longer journey to get to Becky's heel turn, because everything just feels so rushed.
So the reason that I went with this headline is because, the joke's online. Becky's back, winning a title, turning, challenging for a title. It's going to rule when Becky Lynch wins this Intercontinental title. It's going to absolutely rule. She should. She shouldn't be losing to Lyra right off the gate. She should win the Intercontinental title. Give this thing some prestige.
Yeah, she said she's going to win that and make it matter. I agree with you, Becky. It is going to matter. And Zeno Hour, you could say that you think that the story works better this way. Until Lyra Valkyria gets some like overwhelming cheers, it doesn't. There's actual proof. It's the people in the building who Lyra cuts one of her better promos and they barely reacted to it.
They started off with some what chants for her. She did a good job of just powering through, not acknowledging and cutting her promo. She did cut a good promo. I did love when Lyra was like, people in the back warned me about you, and Becky's like, I bet they did.
Becky owns. Becky was great here. I will say, Becky knows how to play an effective heel. It's just like it feels like they always just put her on the back foot every time they try to make her a heel. It's always very rushed and very sudden, to the point that it never works out the way that it needs to be, or it takes a lot of time for them to get there with her as a heel.
Becky should lean into the Discord. You know, she's online. She's very online, which is why she rules, because she's actually like good at the online stuff. She should lean into this stuff. She should beat Lyra with the big boot and the leg drop at Backlash. Do the whole cup of the air, like all of it. Just fully lean into this stuff. She won't do it, but it'd be really good heel stuff to do it. I hope she does. If you're listening, Becky, I'm just giving you some good heel stuff out there. Now, we don't need her going to do the Great American Beer or anything like that, but lean into the discourse of like, oh, Becky's back, taking spots from women, winning titles immediately. Like, yeah, just lean into that shit.
She's gonna flex on it.
Oh, hell yeah. She should do all of it. Do all of it. That would roll.
It would be perfect.
Yeah,
it would be perfect. It would be so perfect. I would love her for that. So yeah, hopefully she does. She did really well in the segment. It just, like I said, I think that they have put them on the back foot as far as getting this segment over, because everything feels very rushed and sudden. But yeah, that was I think that's most of everything. Oh, we forgot about Rusev and the Abyss. They pots me every time. Every time they make a different reference for AEW, or I think it was on the Cody Rhodes, Stephanie's Place. It was alternative wrestling brand. Now with Rusev's promo, it was the Abyss, where I redeemed myself.
At least he acknowledged, like, I found myself, I redeemed myself, I fixed myself. But then he's like, once I got out of that hell, I'm now back here to destroy everyone who is wasting their potential and not living up to what they could be, like I did.
He did a wonderful job of like making his entire career like one cohesive story arc of I was at the heights of everything, United States champion, riding on a tank into WrestleMania. Then I fell down off the hill, and I went to then I found myself in the abyss after I left here, and then pulled myself up out of that hell, and now I'm back here to take care of all you people that are just like the previous me, that was too cocky, too arrogant, and now he's gonna shut everybody down, which sounded like a babyface promo. Like he should be going after the heels on Monday Night Raw, but yet he's facing Otis in his first matchup. It just feels like to me he's going to be a mid-card guy, lower card, mid-card guy.
Probably to start.
I don't know if he's ever going to get to the main event.
I mean, they got a lot of guys, but to at least start, that's probably where he is. At least they got something for him, and then we'll see after Otis and Tozawa. I mean, feuding with Otis and Tozawa ain't exactly a huge launching point. It didn't do a whole lot for Gable, and then now Gable's under a mask. They did mention the Lucha Bros on Raw, so we'll see if that becomes a thing. Rusev and Jey Uso isn't like a terrible program.
No,
I'd probably prefer that to Logan Paul. Yeah, you probably don't want to beat Rusev in like his first match back, but like it's still better than Logan Paul.
You're gonna eventually beat him. We all know this. So if he came back and he's like the first rival for Jey Uso, I think that would be a little bit more. I would have a little bit more optimism on the return of Rusev. I thought that both Rusev and Aleister Black's returns to WWE were very distinctly mid-card, which is not the best kind of. I don't have that much optimism for both of their runs being back.
Well, Alistair's facing the Miz, and anything with the Miz is kind of immediate mid card stuff. What are your thoughts on blackface Miz though, SP3?
Oh my god. Oh man, I'm so glad you mentioned that because that popped me so much. I think Wrestle Talk did a whole bit about that. Ali had to read it out. He's like, blackface Miz? It was like, is this like a new character? And I was like oh my god, who botched that one? And then y'all talked about who was it, Brian Rose? Oh man. Feel for the guy. Black goes 1-on-1 with Miz is where he should have went, but he wanted to save on the character.
Yeah, blackface Miz. I feel bad for Brian. You like Brian? That was an unfortunate one. It's hilarious though. Like it was it made for some funny discourse for the day. So there was that. Yeah. Io Sky is going to be on NXT tonight. They did. Vecker wrestled. I know this was a little separate, but Vecker wrestled and defeated Ivy Nile. Io Sky saved Rhea Ripley from Julia and Roxanne Perez. So it kind of looks like Julia, Roxanne, and Vecker, even though she's the champion, are on the main roster right now.
Yo, I messaged a whole bunch of my friends, including Jimmy Macaro, where I was like, man, Sean better put this title on Jordan Grace because Triple H is jacking him for Vaquer. It's not even funny. It's so obvious what's going on. He's like, put him up. Put your goddamn hands up. Give me La Primera. Give me a right now. Put the title on someone else. Have her relinquish the title. I don't want her to lose. Oh man, because he had the perfect opportunity in that Fatal 4-Way too. That Fatal 4-Way, in retrospect, that Fatal 4-Way, Jordan or Jada should have won that Fatal 4-Way, not pinned Vaquer, so Vaquer can get called up if she was going to get called up anyway. But it makes me feel that Triple H is doing exactly what Vince used to do in just randomly calling people up all of a sudden without letting Sean know in advance.
I hope Vaquer just drops this title too. And she loses both titles without losing a single match. She's like, I've been called up, and now I cannot hold this title and this division hostage.
I want to give the
everybody
NXT
an opportunity.
Women's Division.
Yep. So I'm going to relinquish this championship. I hope that's what happens. That would rule.
Would.
Becomes a double champion and doesn't lose either of them in the ring. Just like, here you go.
That would be perfect. That would be so perfect. I would love it so much. Just oh man, yeah. She's heading to the main roster. Like she's so over already. She's more over than like I would say like 50%, maybe higher, probably 75% of the Raw roster already. And she gave Ivy now her best match on the main roster so far. She was really good in that matchup. She's so ready. She has the poise. She has the presence. She's great in the ring. She has a awesome look to her. She has so much charisma without having to be a great talker at the same time. It's so good. It's just, yeah, it's a no-brainer. And no, King Potato. I will not let. Yeah, you better correct yourself. It's Io Sky. It's the best women's wrestler in the company. Vaquer is a solid number 2.
Her music sucks. There is that.
What? 70 Vaquer?
Yeah, I don't like it.
I like it more than like 90% of WWE theme music. At least it's identifiable. I like that. I like the music. The Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez matchup was good as well, except I am getting pretty annoyed that every episode of WWE television has a non-finish.
Yeah,
like it's so annoying. It is so obvious when it's gonna happen. It's so obvious. You could pinpoint it. You could see the lineup for the show and be like, "That's not ending with a finish."
Well, you know what the theme has been for the past couple of weeks as to what the non-finish is, right? Women's matches. Women's match on Monday. Women's match on Friday. Women's match on Monday. Women's matches are getting the non-finishes right now. So,
Yeah.
but yes, I'm in agreement with you. You can look at it and be like, oh yeah, there's our nightly DQ finish right here, and it just so happens the past few shows, it's all been women's matches. So
This was much better. This was done better than the one on SmackDown. Oh my god, I love Naomi. I think she's doing the best work of her career. But goddamn, those punches were awful. She was doing the Dark Order, and Dustin
Donkey
Rhodes
Konging
angle.
her. Yes. Donkey Konging, man. She's ready to
And
fight
not
the
hitting her.
gorilla.
She was hitting the match in here.
I will not have any Naomi slander. She rules.
I love Naomi, but goddamn, those punches were awful. I was like, what the hell was that?
All right, a couple super chats. Suffocate just that was for the $1 to make up for me eating the sandwich. I ate the entire sandwich. Again, it wasn't bad. Didn't think it was bad. All right, the big news of the day, SP3. Hold on, I have to find it because someone did mention it. AEW Collision Playoff Palooza. The ratings are in. They did 700 something thousand, whatever. Who could possibly
707,000 views on the
Viewers
back of
on-
a fantastic lead-in from the NBA playoffs, and the fact that in the first match on the show, it had
Blake Christian is over 1 million draw. 1.67 million viewers. A 0.60 demo rating for the new demo god.
I'm vanilla, baby.
Blake Christian. All by himself in that first match. Over 1 million viewers and a 0.60 demo rating. Congratulations to Blake Christian, the new ratings draw in AEW. He should headline every show. He should be on every show. He should be the world champion. He should have Lovin' on Me by Jack Harlow as his theme song. Imagine how many viewers they would have gotten if that was his theme song, SP3. That video has 185 million views on YouTube. That's way more than AEW gets. That's way more than WWE gets. You put that as his theme song, that's an instant 185 million viewers just tuning in to watch Blake Christian wrestle. That's how it works. Say congratulations to Blake Christian.
congratulations to Swerve Strickland.
Nope. Blake Christian. Nobody else was involved in that match. He had a match against a broomstick, and he won. And he was the only thing that happened in that opening segment. He drew those entire 100.6 million fans, all on the work of Blake Christian. The Young Bucks knew. They knew SP3. Swerve was going to come out there and just cut a promo or something. And the Young Bucks were like, no. A promo? After that game? I know it was a tape show, just work with me. After that game we just saw with the Aaron Gordon dunk buzzer beater, we can't have you out here talking, Swerve Strickland. You can't come out here and cut a promo. You know what we need right now? We need the one true draw in professional wrestling.
I'm vanilla, baby.
Blake Christian, come on out. Keep these people invested after they've just seen Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon team up for the greatest alley-oop in NBA history. Keep these people glued to their seats with some exciting action. Get on out here, Blake Christian. And he delivered, as he always does.
He always gets viewership like this?
Yes.
That's a damn lie.
Refute me. Show me numbers otherwise.
Oh, Blake Christian versus Hologram a couple of weeks ago got the same rating?
I don't actually know what it did.
Thank you.
To me, it did over 1 million as well. The Blake Christian numbers are higher than anybody else. Swerve's on all these shows. He ain't pulling numbers like this every single time. Blake Christian is.
Congratulations to Blake Christian. You happy?
Wow! Thank you, SP3.
Yeah.
You're a man of honor and respect. I respect that.
I respect the honorable ring, and I respect the Lambert math of it all.
185 million views on that video. That's gotta translate to something, right? Imagine if like everyone who's ever watched that video gets like a notification that, hey, this song is now being used by AEW megastar Blake Christian as his theme song. Tune in live Wednesday Night Dynamite.
No, you would need Tony. You would need Tony Khan or you to be in the comments, be like, "This is used by him live this Wednesday on Dynamite."
Tony Khan, pay enough money to get the rights to the song, and then I will personally email everyone who's ever watched that video and say, "Hey, tune into Dynamite to hear this song being used by Blake Christian." If YouTube gives me that information, can I get like the viewer list? I'll personally message every single person, all 185 million of them, even though like 184 million of those views are me. I'll personally message every single one of them and let them know they can listen to this song every Wednesday on Dynamite and every Saturday on Collision, because I can only assume he's going to have matches on both shows when this song gets used.
No, he'll only be on Collision. He's a Collision guy. That's his.
He's been on Dynamite.
What? 5 minutes against Kenny Omega.
Still, does that not count? Like,
5 minutes against Kenny Omega. Yep, you're right. He was in the most viewed segment on that show too. You know why? Because all of the first segments of AEW shows are the most viewed.
But who do they keep putting in those segments? Who do they trust? Who do they know is going to retain that viewership?
Blake Christian. I'm looking forward to Wednesday's Dynamite. That 8-man tag got me excited. We're gonna see Okada and Omega in the ring together on Dynamite.
Blake Christian.
Oh God, will you stop? And Hangman and Kyle Fletcher should be tremendous. I'm looking forward to that one. And Timeless Tony Storm has an open challenge for anyone for a title eliminator. Maybe Blake Christian answers that.
That'd be a fun match. Tony Storm and Blake Christian.
Yeah.
Blake Christian was on Dynamite more than Kenny Omega. Wait, he did a tag team match against who was it? Ospreay?
Kevin Knight
Yeah.
and Ospreay.
Yeah, he won that match too.
No, he didn't. He lost. He loses all his matches.
I didn't see him get pinned.
I mean, he lost.
Pretty sure he won.
He lost.
Disagree.
He only wins on Ring of Honor, if that.
He's not on Ring of Honor anymore. He graduated from Ring of Honor.
He was still on Ring of Honor like 2 weeks ago on that 420 episode.
Was he?
Yeah, he was in Lee Johnson's corner as Lee Johnson faced Sammy Guevara.
He was just supporting his friend. That's not, Sammy Guevara. That's a name.
Word. I haven't heard that name in years.
He's a champion in Ring of Honor, isn't he?
Who, Sammy? Yeah, he's one half of the tag team champions for some reason. They're going on a year. This is ridiculous. I was upset about this.
Is it a year?
It was. They won it in August of last year, so we're going on a year.
How many title defenses they got in that year?
Probably not a lot. They defended against MXM Collection a couple of times now.
Oh, they
have more defenses than what's their face? Dustin and the Von Erichs as 6-man tag team champion.
Yeah, he's been the 6-man champion longer than the tag team champions. Okay, how many title defenses for Dustin and Sami? I got the number right here. What do you think?
I'm gonna say 6.
Oof, too much credit to SP3.
Okay, wait. Let me go through it. Kingdom, I know they defended against the Kingdom. I know they defended against the Righteous at Final Battle. MXM Collection at Global Wars. I think is that it? Is that it? I'm trying to think of what other teams would they have defended these titles against. I think that's the only ones I could think of. I'm gonna be generous and give them one more and say 4.
It was Wrestle Dynasty that defended the titles.
Oh yeah, the House of Torture. I try to forget that one. Someone. So I remember I got into a whole debate with a faceless Twitter account that was very adamant about how they've elevated the tag team titles because they defended it at the Tokyo Dome. I was like, they defended it at the Tokyo Dome in a match that nobody remembers. And look at that. I just proved my point.
Okay, how many title defenses for the 6-man tag team titles?
They defended against Johnny TV and MXM Collection most recently. They defended against probably Premier Athletes. Wasn't that at like the Grand Slam taping? I'm gonna be generous and give them one more as well and say 3.
You got the number correct. There is no Premier Athletes title defense.
Oh well, I thought. Oh no, that was a proving ground match, wasn't it?
They defeated Cage of Agony by DQ. And they defeated the Iron Savages. Both of those were taped on the same tapings, by the way. And then nothing after that, which I know one of the Von Erichs was hurt.
Yeah, and this is why they should have relinquished the titles. This is not in support. Oh well, they just came back from injury, so they relinquished the titles. If someone's injured in your team, you should relinquish the titles.
Dustin Rhodes has held these 2 titles for a combined over 600, nearly 700. Let me hold on. I'll math this. I can't. I'm not going to pretend like I can do this in my head. All right,
this
so
is disgusting.
Dustin Rhodes has held these 2 titles for a combined 531 days. 7 title defenses in 531 days.
Disgusting.
That's amazing. That's not even a title defense per month. That's not even close.
No.
That's 1 title defense every 3 months, right? That's absurd.
There's actually people out there, folks, who argue that Dustin is elevating these titles.
Oops.
This is the type of wrestling fans that I have to deal with sometimes. It's always faceless Twitter accounts who just come up, and then when I call them a faceless Twitter account, what does me not showing my face have to do with anything? Well, you would know if you weren't a faceless Twitter account.
It's 1 title defense every 75 days for Dustin Rhodes.
That's once every almost 3 months.
Yes.
2.5 months at least.
Yeah. 1 title defense every 75 days.
I was told that eventually Ring of Honor would become their developmental. This is not happening anytime soon. Dustin Rhodes has two championships. Athena has held the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship for nearly 3 years now. Why should anyone care about this place?
She's never losing that title.
She's never losing it. And you would think that, okay, they didn't do the Billy thing, which would have made the most sense at Final Battle. And, you know, when she comes into AEW television, it's like, oh, so this is probably going to set up her defending the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship against Mercedes for the TBS Championship in a champion versus champion matchup. Now it seems more likely that we're going to get Mercedes getting a shot at the AEW Women's World Championship. So literally now anything that happened with Athena doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense why she still has this championship. She's gonna probably face Mina Shirakawa at Supercard of Honor.
Congratulations to Corey Graves and Carmella. They've announced their second child together.
Yes. Congrats to them. Happy for them. Always down for happiness, and join the two kid household with me.
Good for them. I hope it goes well for Carmella. I know she's had a lot of health issues with everything, so hopefully, you know, this one is easier for her.
Facts.
Yes. Anything else, SP3?
I think we've discussed everything. Trying to think of anything else that we didn't mention. We got NXT tonight. It's gonna be a face-off with Tony D'Angelo and what's his name? Shannon Stacks Lorenzo.
Luka Doncic is gonna be there.
No. I mean, it's better if he was there than on the court. But Luca Fusafino, he got killed. He got taken out by Stacks. Stacks and Tony D are gonna meet in a face-to-face meeting for the first time since Stacks turned on Tony D. We're gonna have Ricky Saints defending the NXT North American Championship against Lexis King. And I forgot what else. What else is advertised for tonight? Those are the main things that I remember.
Io Sky is gonna be there.
Io Sky is going to be there. Joe Hendry is going to be there following
Most
Trick
likely.
Williams attacking him at TNA Rebellion. So there we go.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to the show. Should be another good show from NXT. NXT is probably the most consistent of any of the three brands of WWE as far as weekly. You know, they only care when they get out of Orlando, but even the ones in Orlando are still pretty decent.
We'll have an NXT post show tonight, allegedly. I don't know what time any of that stuff starts. I don't know. I'll be watching.
10 p.m. Eastern.
It's longer than the actual NXT show, so there you go.
Shout out to Kate and Alex. They do an awesome job. They're probably the only NXT post show that I know of on YouTube right now. So
Nobody else wants to watch that show. I do like NXT because just shit happens on that show. It rules.
yeah, there's always shit happening. Like at
Shit
least there's
just-
that.
Yeah.
Unlike SmackDown, that sometimes doesn't have anything happening until the tag team division feels disrespected and then put on one of the best TV matches of the year.
Sorry to read this last super chat, SP3. Aaron says, Will's back. Def's scared until it's over, though, as you should be. You should always be scared until it's over. It's not over until it's over. Everything's a 0-0 series. Where can they find you, SP3?
Find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I will be live in less than an hour over on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel with Romeo and Top Guy JJ to review WWE Monday Night Raw and Rated Raw Review. We'll have some fun. We'll talk our crap, and we'll see what Romeo thinks about the fans singing Seth Rollins' theme song. He's the only person who hates Seth Rollins' theme song more than me. So join us for that, and we'll have a good time talking about it.
Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Joel will be here. I'll probably yell at him because why shouldn't I yell at him? She deserves to be yelled at. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for the laughs, me banning Pile Driver Finisher and that adventure that we went on. Appreciate everybody in the chat. And probably have to go to the bathroom for about 15 to 45 to 90 to 119 minutes. Catch everybody tomorrow. Bye, everyone.